Alright, in this video I want to talk about the autoresponder opt-in form with SMS Dominator. The opt-in form is going to be modified shortly. It's going to be updated, but I want to show you what we have so far because I know that there's been a little bit of confusion with some people. I want to make sure that we do it right, and this video is going to be quite long, so bear with us. First thing you want to do is click on the autoresponder. And when you click on autoresponder, you want to click on autoresponders again. Inside here, there's a menu and it says autoresponders. When you click in here, what you're really doing is you're going into different campaigns that you have created inside autoresponder. And if you've not created any campaigns as of yet, instead of seeing these manila boxes, by the way, each manila box here is a campaign, is an autoresponder campaign. At the very bottom of this, you'll see autoresponder name. And this might be all that you see. What you do is you want to put in the name and hit enter, and you've created an autoresponder. Now in previous videos we talk about how to tie your autoresponder in with the SMS Dominator so that you can get these hyperlinks all working. We're not going to talk about that right now. What we really want to focus on right now is the opt-in form. And as you can see in this example here, I've got 3 opt-in forms that I've created, and the one called test has already been linked in with the SMS Dominator system. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to, let's say that we want to create an opt-in form where the cell phone, we want the cell phone to appear, but it's not required. This code is for cell phone required, this phone is for cell phone not required. Now, as you can see, there's a pre-made template that's already been created for you. And once you put in your name, that template's automatically created basically for you. You can change the template around. I'm not a big fan of the templates, to be honest with you, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. But I'm going to click on this just so you can see what happens. In this column, the cell phone not required, but it is here. So let's click on that. And that's what this looks like. It's very clunky. It's not very attractive. It's just showing the cell phone, and you click in subscribe, okay? So let me just shrink this down a little bit here. And I'm going to go back here. And let's show you this is the HTML code for the cell phone not required, just the basic HTML code. And here it is right here. I'm going to stretch that out. Now this is just the HTML code. Now I'm going to go back here. I want to show you something very important, because I don't want any confusion here, because I know there's been some confusion with it. This is HTML code with template. When we're creating an opt-in form, we don't want to create an opt-in form with the template. We want this opt-in form creates its own template. So if you clicked on this and you copied this code, you're basically copying a template within a template. We don't want that to happen. We just want the HTML code. So I'm going to grab this HTML code because I know that I'm going to be using this at a later time, actually in just a couple minutes. I'm going to copy this. I'm actually going to open up a notepad. I'm going to paste this into Notepad, and I'm just going to push this over to the side for just the time being. And I'm going to go back to autoresponders, and I'm going to go back to test, and I'm going to create an opt-in form. And I have create a new opt-in form or go back to the opt-in list. We obviously want to create or add a new opt-in form. And this is a step-by-step guide. And as you note, you'll see the word optional in here several times. Now, this is a great thing to show right now because the word optional is optional, and I'm not, this time, in this video, going to add a header or a footer just because I don't need to at the moment, okay? And it says, note, if you want to use a header image, then you have to select that image from your computer. We're not going to do that this time. The width of the header, well, we didn't have a header, so we don't really have a width. Step 3, select a footer. Well, we're not going to have a footer either for this. The width of the opt-in form you are creating. Okay, this is where the writing, where it says put your name, put your email, put your cell phone number in here, is created. So we need to have a certain width. I'm going to make a width of just 250 just for the heck of it this time. And I always just use pixels, but you can use percent, and that percent is actually a percent of the window of the website. So try to typically use pixels for the most part. Click on next. This is the background color. Typically I've been using yellow, so I'm going to go with red this time as the background color of the opt-in form. Now if we have a background color of red, we have to make sure we have a color that's going to work with that in terms of writing. The border width of the opt-in form in pixels. Okay, we can have a border width. Let's have a let's go with a border width of I'll actually do one here of 6. And it says the border style. We can have solid, dashed, dotted, all sorts of things. Let's go with the solid. And it says the color of the border width, a solid yellow. Let's see how that looks. Red and yellow, right? Padding on the top of the border box. Padding is in pixels. Enter 5 if you want a padding of 5. We're going to just to explain what padding is. Let's assume that the border color is red, and if we didn't have any padding, the words is going to be right butt up against the border on the top, the bottom, the left, and right. So we want to create manually some padding and give you some, let's say this is the top. Let's give it a border padding of 2 at the top. And it says a border on the right. We're just going to do 2 on that as well. Let's just do 2 all across. This is on the bottom now. So we've done top, right, bottom, and left 2. So if you remember at the beginning, we had we set up the border width as 250. So what's really going to happen now is that our characters are only going to be available at 250 minus 2 on the right minus 2 on the left, which makes it 246 characters wide. The border is going to be red at 250, but the characters wide can only be 246. Hopefully, or pixels wide is really going to be 246. Hopefully you understood that. All right, unique opt-in form creator, the text you want above the opt-in form. Okay, we love smartphones. We hope you do too. Enter now to win. 1 in 1,000 chance to win. 1 entry per person. Okay, just something like that. Obviously I made that up. And it says select the font family. I'm going to go with Vardana. Again, that's still a typo. And instead of having 18 or 20, I'm going to go with 16 because I put a lot of words in here. The font color, let's go with white. Okay, so now we have a red background, a yellow solid border, and white writing. What text do you want to put under the opt-in form? Please provide us with a valid cell phone number, and we will double your chances of winning. That sounds kind of good. I actually just made that up. I might see if that's allowed. If I can allow something like that, that might be a really cool thing to do. So next, and it says the font family. Let's change it to Courier. And it says the font size. Let's make the font size. We had 16 at the top. Let's make this 12. And it says, what's the font color going to be? Let's have another yellow here. So we have a white top writing. We have the opt-in form, name, email, cell phone. And then we have a yellow at the very bottom text writing of what we just wrote. Click on next. And say enter the autoresponder. Well, it's been a while, so let me just remind you, I copied that autoresponder before I started the opt-in form, but I'm going to copy it again. Copy it. Let's move it to the side. And I'm going to paste it in here because it says enter the autoresponder code. Paste. And I'm going to click on next. And we have to name this smartphone deal. Something like that. And we click on create. The very next step, now I want to let you know, and it's coming very soon. It might be a few days from now. It might actually be 1 day from today, and today's being July 4th. This where it says continue with thank you page, we're going to have the thank you page built in here, and after you enter in the autoresponder is going to be a next button, and it says please link your opt-in, something along the lines of this. Please link your opt-in form with our thank you page, and we're going to give you a few thank you page options. And your other option is to create your own thank you page. So we're going to provide you with a section where you can enter in your own URL for your own made opt-in, thank you page that you've created yourself, and that's up to you. All right, so for right now, we're going to download this opt-in form, and I'm going to save it. Smartphone deal. And the download's complete. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what it looks like. Here it is. I'm going to unzip it. And things are going a little bit slower now that I'm recording. I apologize for that. Extract that to smartphone deal. Let's go find it. There it is, smartphone deal. Now I'm going to take a look at this, and I can take a look at this by clicking on this link right here and having it tie into my Firefox account. And it'll actually capture any images that I have, but I don't have any images in here at this point. So I'm going to double click the smartphone deal. See, let's double click images. There's nothing in here, see? But had I had an image, and I'm going to show you this in just a few minutes. Had I had an image, what do you do with that image, and how do you get that image to tie into this link here? So I'm going to double click this. Whoa, look at the yellow here. A lot of yellow and red. The yellow's a little bit too crazy, isn't it? But you know what? If we put this inside a website that maybe had a black background, it might not be as crazy and bright. But as you can see, it says we love smartphones. We hope you do too. Enter to win. 1 in 1,000 chance to win. 1 entry per person. Put in your name, your email address, your cell phone, and click subscribe. Please provide us with a valid cell phone number, and we will double your chances of winning. I didn't explain how that happens, but if I explained, maybe I'd say we would put your name and email address and cell phone number in twice for our random drawing. Okay, so the next step is to get this up on an actual website. If you can see, what I did here is I'm looking at this in a file called C users Keith download smartphone deal.html. I'm not looking at this on a real website. So what we need to do is we need to put this on a real website. And how do we do that? I'm using a program called Coffee Cup. You can use anything you want, FileZilla or whatever. And let's see where I am right now. I'm going to open up here's a website for me, GPS Hotspot. I'm going to open up GPS Hotspot. I'm going to go into public HTML. Actually, I'm just going to go up one level. I'm actually going to drop that file. Let's go back to the file if I can find it here. That's not it. here's the deal. Here's the file. I'm actually going to copy this. I'm going to actually drop this file into public HTML. I'm going to see if I can do this right here while you can see the whole thing. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to drop and drag this right into public HTML. And let's see if it took it. I think it did. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into gpshotspot.com/smartphonedeal.html. Okay? And the best way to do that is I'm going to copy this. Let's open up a browser. Here's the browser. And I'm going to go to GPS Hotspot. GPS Hotspot. Right now I'm in /GPS, so that's nothing right here. So now I'm going to back that out, and I'm going to type in smartphonedeal.html. I'm going to go forward, and there it is. Now, had there been an image, this is very important. Hopefully at 16 minutes your eyes are not glazed over and you are still awake and know what's going on. Had there been an image, you need to put that image into an images file. The website, I'll show you what I mean by that. And view the page source. And let's see if there's in the page source that has images. I don't think it does because I don't have an image in here. Had there been an image in here, the page source automatically creates a folder that says, I want to see if I want to find an image. Okay? So let's assume right now, for just this particular moment in time, that there really is an image. Okay? And what I need to do is I need to go into public HTML, double click this, and inside public HTML, if there's an image folder, and there is right here, I would take, if there was an image in this folder, I would take that image and I would drop it into images right here. And that way the system would work and you'd be able to see not only the name, email address, and cell phone number, but you'd also be able to see a header or a footer if there was any. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense and you understood what you need to do. So you need to upload the folders where you want to upload them, including the images. The images need to be uploaded in order to be able to see them. Okay, I hope that that made some sense. If you have any questions, please contact the help desk and we will get back in touch with you. But I think that looks kind of nice. It looks pretty darn sweet. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.